Welcome back, everybody. Please click on Follow Presenter, and let's take a look at the next lesson. The next two lessons deal with a concept called a fan out. A fan out can be done at either the feature type level or at the writer level. So we can create either separate feature types based on attribute values, or we can create separate data sets based on attribute values. So these are called feature type fanouts and data set fanouts. The first one we're going to look at is the feature type fanout. Now, to preface this, I just want to mention why you might want to do this. Here we saw bringing in multiple feature types into a single feature type. This is actually bringing in multiple data sets and then treating the feature types within those data sets as a single feature type. So we have multiple feature types multiple data sets being treated as a single data set. We have multiple feature types being treated as a single feature type. We have merged everything together. This could make a lot of sense while processing the data, but if we're bringing everything together, it may also be necessary to fan it all out again, to split it all apart again. You may want to take everything that's coming in and split it back out into different output feature types. The way that can be done is in the feature type parameters here. At the top, we have the feature type name. If I change this, that changes the feature type name. In the drop down here, we can actually use an attribute value as the feature type name. So for every unique value for that attribute, you will have a new feature type. Now, quite often, the feature type that you'd want on the output, the layer name that you want on the output, is the same as the layer name you had on the source. When a feature is read in to FME, FME will automatically add a new attribute to it called FME feature type. The FME feature type attribute will always exist on the feature if it's being read in, and it's always there, but it's hidden from the interface. You could display it during the transformation by exposing it using an attribute exposer transformer. But we know that people want to use this attribute often enough that it's often added to the attribute lists in various transformers and, of course, in the feature type parameters. So if I fan this out to feature type, when I run this translation, every unique value for feature type, basically every layer that data originally came from, it'll be split into those layers in the output here. You're not limited to a single attribute. You could combine multiple attributes and even add some constants by using the text editor. So here we can see we have @value feature type. We have all of the other attributes available here. You could even calculate some things on the fly. So I could call it layer and then the name of the layer. So I have quite a bit of flexibility there on what to name my output feature types. So ultimately, when that runs, if I have, say, an elevation attribute, I have elevation of 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. They'll be split into separate output feature types, output layers, or sheets, or tables even, of 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. Now, this means that you should be careful with what attribute you choose. If I chose elevation and that's a floating point value, I could end up with a few more layers than I would have liked. Okay, so that is creating multiple layers with feature type fanouts. So please review that lesson, and we'll continue at 5 minutes. Give Give you a little bit longer. We'll continue at 9:45.